Spud Fitness coming to you live this morning. It's early. I've been on the road since I think about 6 o'clock. I'm 25 kilometers in this cycling, and I just wanted to say this morning that I've received this message for you this morning, especially for the men, I'm not saying this is exclusive just for men, but I would like to say that in a subtle manner, that this is for the men out there. And if you know any man, this is before Father's Day, of course, if you know any man that's out there, I need them to listen to this, because this is some insight that I received over the past week. In the Bible, in the book of 1 Samuel, we encounter a man named Saul, and Saul becomes the king of Israel, and he united the people of God. But in this, Saul has really sinned against God, and he has done horrible things, which I don't want to go into this morning because I don't have time. But what I do have time for is the mere fact that the Bible records in multiple verses and multiple occurrences that Saul loved his spear or his javelin. He threw David with a javelin. He threw Jonathan, his own son, with a javelin. It is even recorded in the book of 1 Samuel that when a person came and looked for Saul, he was the one wandering under a tree with his javelin. Even in his death, he was leaning on his spear or his javelin. Saul really had dependence on his javelin. He had a dependency on the thing that had wielded his power and his authority and his might behind it. What has that got to do with you today? You might not have a physical spear or a javelin, I hope not, that you throw at people, but many a times our spear and our javelin becomes our job. We throw our job at people, we throw our status at people, we depend so much on our material well-being and on our bank account. We throw that in people's face, we throw qualifications in people's face, we throw our position and our authority and our giftings and our calling and our physical exercise routine, we throw it in people's face, and we become dependent on that. And this morning I want to call out men who has a dependency on the system of this world, who has a dependency on the things that they can see around them. Saul's spear was his handicap. What is your handicap today? Stick with me as I go unto another character in the book of 1 Samuel. But I have to get home. No pain, no pain. Now, in direct contrast to Saul, there's a man in the Bible called David. And when you read 1 Samuel 23, on 4 occasions there, one thing that is being identified with David, like Saul is identified with his spear or his javelin, what is identified with David is that David's dependency was on the Lord. You will hear countless times where it has been highlighted, and David inquired of the Lord. And a few verses down, and David inquired of the Lord. And as men, our dependency should be on the Lord. It should not be in our qualification, in our job, in our skill set, in our athletic ability, in the eloquence of our speech, but in the Lord. And that's what I want to encourage you today, that let your dependency be in the Lord and not what we can do. For where do we live? Or where do we die? We do it unto the Lord. Spud Fitness signing off. No pain, no pain. I forgot this part. When we look at the worldly system today and we see what has been happening the past year or so, we grasp the notion that our dependency on the worldly system and the things of this world will allow us to be disappointed, because it is a system that is fallible. It is a system that doesn't carry the same gravitas as having our dependency in the Lord. When our dependency is in the Lord, we do not only depend on Him for what He can do for us, but for who He is and for allowing us to be a part of His kingdom. Our dependency in the Lord means this, that after I have blown out my last breath on this earth, that there's a Father in heaven waiting for me with arms open wide. And that is the dependency that we have in this day and age, when we follow the instructions of the Lord and we depend on the Lord who He is, for He is worthy. And with that, I want to encourage you, do not be so fixated with your qualifications and with your job and with all these other things, but have your dependency in the Lord. May you have a blessed day. Don't like, don't subscribe, share it with all the men, and I'll see you soon.